Hello everyone, welcome back to the Red Pearls of Borneo. We are at least making some progress, although it's requiring a bunch of guessing and then some stretches that don't feel like they add up properly. It's odd. I guess okay, so something that bothers me is that here I'm expected to assume that this wraps over to Loon showing up wraps over to the next hour, and so that all three of them are here in this one. And I guess it's kind of odd that so I guess something I now know is that I need to know all the people that are there in order to get anything, although that's not true. I guess I either need to know all the people or I need to know an item that was there, or specifically who owned the item that was there, which is I don't get how that works, but I guess it's magic. Okay, because I tried just doing Lucas. I was thinking maybe it would give me Lucas and Kenan, but with question marks, and I could fill in Loon or something like that. But no, I have to have all three. Then they all show up. So I can get partial conversations, but I can only get partial conversations when I use an item, and I only get the partial conversation from the perspective of the person who touched the item. It's so random. It's hard to build up any intuition for this because it doesn't make any logical sense. Okay, sorry I'm ranting so much, but yes, I mean it's funny at the same time as being very confusing. Okay, so now we're here, and we're saying there's still a clue from that as well, but we'll get there, I guess. Although this is only for this location, so there's also still clues for... oh no, the library we haven't done anything here. So apparently that's still leading to something as well. Okay. Loon Goodwill. Oh, stop it, Kenan. Father will want to see him. Let him come through. Okay, so I guess that stuff was happening right at the end of the hour, and we just had to accept that. She goes for a handshake. Don't mind him. My name is Loon Goodwill. What's your name? My name is Lucas Sterling. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, young lady. Come with me to the veranda to meet her. Okay, we've got a new location. To meet everyone. My mother, Teresa, is already there, having her first sundowner. My research shows that a sundowner is a local colloquialism for an evening drink taken when the sun is setting to mark the transition from the heat of the day to the cool of the evening. All right. My father was there too just now, but he rushed off to the study. Right. Wait, which was at what time? That's also at this time. But you don't know about him yet. Well, where am I? Boathouse. To tell on you, I'm sure. Wait, but how does he know about you? To tell on you, I'm sure. How does he know? Nobody's gone. Kenan hasn't said anything. Lucas hasn't said anything. Loon hasn't said anything. To tell on you, I'm sure he can be so paranoid. He'll be back by 6 for his sundowner. So at 6, he'll be back for the sundowner. But Teresa's already at the veranda, so I could go there, obviously. Miss Goodwill, I don't want to be rude, but I've just experienced the most traumatic moment of my life. Could you point me to somewhere I can freshen up and get some clean clothes first, if it's not too much to ask? I wonder if they're in cahoots in some way. Oh my, where are my manners? Of course, Mr. Sterling, come with me. I'll show you to the guest house. Okay, a bunch of locations at this point. Loon Goodwill, can you tell... I can see why this has got 4 things. Can you tell Isia to come to the guest house with fresh guest towels for Mr. Lucas? She was just in the kitchen. Thank you. Okay, so I've been told where a bunch of characters are. I mean, this is a lot more preferable to what was going on before. Kenan bows. He may not approve, but he respected the young woman. Of course, little mem. I will go warn Chuan Bessar first of our guest, and then I will send for her. In these plantations, Tuan is the standard address for officials. Chuan Bessar, the big master, is the head manager in charge of the entire estate. In this case, Kenan's referring to Jeremiah Goodwill. Okay. So officials are Chuan Bessar. Loon Goodwill smiles and focuses her attention back to Lucas Sterling. Loon Goodwill, come, let's go. Now, another trouble here is you say she was just in the kitchen. Do you mean At this moment or that moment? I think you mean at that moment. Should we do... Let's do Teresa first. So you're saying Teresa's already in the veranda. Veranda. Oh, but I don't... I have to put... Okay. For reasons that don't make a lot of sense, I've got to first put your name against you. So it's one of you four. You look like an older gentleman who looks like an older woman here. Probably you, but I'm not certain. Or you. Okay, so I can't do that without knowing. Where was I? I was in the boathouse. Don't mean to be rude, but I've just blah 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 blah. But I also won't be able to identify you in the kitchen. What does the green here mean? Does that stuff add? No. Okay. I will go warn to impress our first of our guest. Wait, so how does that add up with you saying, we rush us to tell on you, I'm sure? But he doesn't know. I mean, I guess you could say, Loon doesn't know that he doesn't know, maybe? But you've said, here, stop it, Ken, Father will want to see him, as though... What am I mistaking here? My father was there too just now, but he rushed off the study to tell on you, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't quite get that. I can't tell whether these things are things I'm supposed to be figuring out, or they're like kind of like mistakes, or what's it called in films when the things don't quite like continuity errors or something. Maybe they're intentional continuity errors. She was just in the kitchen. Okay, so we have those locations, but I wouldn't be able to identify you there. Although, I guess you know that they were there. So you've been in the veranda and the kitchen recently, I guess? I'll go warn Chu and Bessar first of our guests, and I'll send for her. But how do I do this without first identifying? Oh, we've also got new locations, so we should click on them first. Spots the function with many beds to accommodate unexpected guests. Oh, right, the only reason this is not pictures is because they're at a different location. Okay, sorry, I was getting confused by that as well. Kitchen. Located at the back of the building to keep the furnace heat away from the main rooms. Okay. And have we looked at all the others? Veranda? No. The place where the family gathered to drink their evening sundowners and watch the sunset. Okay, so back to here. I will show you to the guest house. So I guess the next thing to do is put you and you here in the guest house. That's the only one I think we can actually follow up on. You and you? Yes, okay. Whew. I think I know how to play the game now. Finally. Loon Goodwill is escorting Lucas Sterling to the guest house. Loon Goodwill. The guest house is on the right here, just past the wash house. Lucas Sterling stops. Lucas Sterling, can I use the wash house now, quickly? Is there water? I guess that's not a separate building? Is there water? Oh yes, we always have water. Follow me. Do you not want to wait for Isia to come with the fresh towels first? I just really need to get cleaned up. In this heat, I'll dry very quickly. Okay, that's suspicious. Something else going on. Oh, but you must wait for the towels. I should be quite alright. Is this it? Then Goodwill nods. Lucas Sterling opens the door and steps inside. He takes off his tattered uniform and just holds it to a pouch that he was hiding under his jacket. Okay. Luke Sterling grabs a gayung. Gayung is a traditional plastic or metal ladle used for scooping water from a jar or bucket for bathing. From the Shanghai jar, large ceramic Shanghai jars are commonly used in colonial houses to store cool water for bathing in the tropical heat. Pours it over his hair, face and body, a look of pure satisfaction on his face. He scrubs away at the mud and blood for quite a while. When he finally stops, he just stands there for a minute and looks down at his right hand. It's trembling uncontrollably. Sorry, let me reread. He scrubs away at the mud and blood for quite a while. When he finally stops, he just stands there for a minute, then looks down at his right hand. It's trembling uncontrollably. Luke Sterling starts to sob quietly. Okay. What was the pouch? Lucas, compose yourself, man. It's over. You made it. You're safe. He looks around the small room. The floor is made of stones to prevent wood from rotting. To prevent wood from rotting? You mean it's made from stones? Because if it were made of wood, it would rot, I guess. The floor is sloped towards a drain that leads out into the garden. He jumps as he hears a local servant arrive. He stays still for a minute, listening to Lou and the local servant's conversation, and waits for a local servant for a local servant to leave before he resumes his search. Lucas Sterling notices a loose stone on the floor. He pries it up and hides the pouch underneath it before replacing it. Okay, so you're hiding something. I have the towels and some clean clothes. It's starched white, so I hope that's okay. Starched whites are the standard attire for men in colonial houses. Starched white shorts, white knee-high socks, and a white shirt. They are clean and pressed and often smell of lavender or similar fragrances. They are not practical for work, but are used to maintain an ill-conceived delusion of British superiority. Glossary unlocked. British standards. Okay. Where was I? Here. Oh, that's alright. It's all that the men wear here. It's not as fancy as what you're used to, I'm sure. Can I pry the door open and hand them to you? Luke Sterling lets his hand out the door and Luke Goodwill places towels and clothes in them. I hope they fit. They belong to a young cousin of my father who died from the fever. That's a great thing to say if you just given them clothes. They must mean the black water fever, by far the most feared cause of death for young Europeans in the tropics. It's a terrifying complication of repeated malaria infections and fatal within days. He was about your height, I reckon. Don't worry, the clothes are clean. Then Goodwill is waiting patiently for Luke Sterling to finish drying himself. My parents divorced a year ago. My mother has been, well, you'll see soon. She's a lovely woman. She was the most beautiful woman in the whole of Sabah. Sabah is the largest state of Borneo. It is bordered by the states of Sarawak and Kalimantan to the west, and the Philippines to the east. It is ruled by the British North Borneo Chartered Company, a private company that was granted the royal charter by the British government back in the 19th century. The good old days when you'd have a chartered company just rule an area of the world. Deary me. But yeah, you can see there is like an Obra Dinn influence here because it's similar topics, and I can't remember what year Obra Dinn is, but like that was the East India Trading Company, right? So there's like overlap here in some way. I guess there's going to be if you do like a British history story, especially around the time of British colonialism. Yeah, a lot of it's gonna be like chartered companies with ships and guns, claiming things that don't belong to them. Anyway, she was the most beautiful woman in the whole of Sabah when she was younger, but the sun took its toll over the years. My parents divorced and my father remarried within weeks. My mother drinks a lot now. Did you say your mother's here? That's in the other place. Oh, getting between these conversations is going to be confusing. Are they still living together? My mother drinks a lot now, which is lovely, you'll see. And I have a brother in London. He left for boarding school when I was a baby, but I think you know that already, don't you? Luke Sterling comes out of the wash house looking at Loon Goodwill with curiosity. I don't know what you're talking about. Bosh, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Loon Goodwill gives him a knowing look as if expecting him to confirm this fact. Thank you for the clothes. They fit very well. I don't know how to thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad you like them. Come now. Let's go meet the others. Dinner will be ready soon. You must be hungry. They make their way to the veranda. Okay, so we know where they're going next. The veranda. I wanted to read this, of course. I want to know about British standards and how I might not be meeting them. Stepping onto a British plantation in North Borneo felt fundamentally different from entering a Dutch-run estate in the south. The British brought a very specific brand of colonialism that left a distinct visual and cultural fingerprint on the landscape. Here's how you could easily recognize a British plantation and what made them stand out. The most immediate giveaway was the manager's bungalow. While Dutch houses in the south tend to be built close to the ground, British bungalows were on stilts. They were almost always raised 6 to 10 feet off the ground on massive piles of wood. Not this, it's a different building then. This kept the house above the mud, away from snakes, and allowed air to circulate underneath. A British bungalow was recognisable by its massive wraparound shaded veranda. I mean, it's not even a bungalow. Wraparound shaded veranda. It served as the living room and the bar. Hold on, so where's the veranda in the... Veranda's here, so I guess it's this? So, yeah. So there must be a veranda going around the outside of this. It seems like quite a small building to have. I guess it's hard to judge, but a veranda going around there and a room inside, but okay, sure. Okay. If you saw a small steam engine, you were undoubtedly on a British plantation. The North Borneo Railway was a uniquely British project. It was the only railway system on the entire island. Plantations were designed to plug into this rail line. The Chuan would usually have a great deal of nostalgia for the English countryside. You could recognise the British estate by the English garden attempted in the front of the bungalow. The British spent an absurd amount of effort trying to maintain a flat green lawn in the middle of the jungle. It was often used for croquet or badminton. I mean, that's also a thing here in Britain. Like, people like kind of making gardens look rubbish by like just like, yeah, making them completely flat and perfectly green. It's like, well, a bit of like, you know, making it look a little bit natural can look pretty nice, I think. It's often used for croquet or badminton. Most British plantations were managed by an agency rather than the government itself. Unlike the more independent Dutch planters, British estates followed a standardised manual for how a plantation should look, from the spacing of the trees to the colour of the paint on the outbuildings. British Borneo social life was tethered to the club. You saw a building that looked like a rustic version of a London gentleman's club, complete with a billiard table, outdated copies of British magazines in the bar. You're in British territory. Of course, everywhere we go, we have to have a gentleman's club and basically a pub. The British were keen to wear very iconic attires to show their superiority over the locals. The solar topi was a mandatory iconic white helmet worn with starched whites. Even in 90% humidity, they would often change into starched white shorts, white knee-high socks, and a white shirt. Even in... What's it got to do with the humidity? I don't know. Okay. Now I don't remember what the next lead was going to be. Where were we? We were here. And you had a lead, which was you two going to the veranda next. So I assume that was an entire hour? Which seems like a leap, but I think you... Oh, I haven't identified the mother. Okay, hold on. Maybe not that next then. Did we get any information about how somebody looks? Lovely woman, she was the most beautiful woman in the whole of Sabah when she was young. We know she's beautiful, but the sun took its toll over the years. Drinks a lot now. Okay. The brother, is that a relation of the person who sent the original letter? Wasn't Jeremiah the uncle or something? I can't remember. Come now, let's go meet the others. Dinner will be ready soon, you must be hungry. But I'm going to be able to do that without... So like, maybe I never identify Isia, was that their name? Because Isia was here. But I didn't say they were part of this scene. I guess, is that the the thing it said about, oh, people on the edge of the memory or whatever? Is that what that means? It's a little vague. So we do know you go there, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I can't just say veranda, you two. Yeah, because I need the mother as well, who's also there. Although it did also say that Jeremiah would be there by 6, I think. Boathouse here. Somewhere. He'll be back by 6 for his sundowner. So yeah, I think at 6 it's going to be all of them. Okay, then which one do I follow next? What have I learned about what people would like do or wear or whatever? Like, would I know? That's not how I go that way. Map, then guess. I think like there should be like one set of buttons, which is to jump between the different screens, and they just should just be always present. Like tabs, I can flip between the tabs. And sure, the inventory is going to need like sub tabs, but then maybe those can just be tabs within the other tabs. Because like, to be fair, only one thing in here sounds like inventory. Well, I mean, these two don't feel like inventory. These also don't. Sorry, this one does. This one does. Notes, I guess, if I'm making notes for myself. I haven't really understood when it would be best to make a note right now. Well, I guess maybe the thing to do, because it requires me to put text in, at least I think it does. I've not really been doing it because I'm like, I don't have anything to add to this. But like, maybe what it wants me to do, like what would be actually useful. I don't know how to get to where I'm going. It goes here. Would be to mark like everywhere somebody says like what somebody looks like or where they are. Well, so like this, for example. Can I just do that? I can. Okay, I don't have to say anything. Insight. And it's just empty. That's fine. Okay. I think that's what I'd want to do more often. I think because there was a text box, I wasn't doing it because I was like, well, I don't have a note to write. And I don't think I'd realised it would show up in here as well. So, all these little things about UIs that are important. So Isia. When you say compose yourself, where was that? Here. It's over, you made it. Do you mean from what happened before you landed, or just like getting past Canaan? I'm not sure. There are a number of references to other places. So the boathouse one had a lot. Yeah. So you're going to go warn to Ambessar, who is in the study. Let's just find all of those first, and we'll go to that one next. She was just in the kitchen, but we don't know who she is yet. Then there's this. Okay, so I think that was all of those. So then, what was the thing I was going to do? You going to... So we know he's in the study. You did say that. So Canaan and the guy. So this is another officer, I guess, to unbone. But, okay. Do you shop here then? No. It didn't even say the thing, like the error thing. I don't understand that then. So when did you go there? When does that show up on here? Maybe this is you, but then why would you show up and say this? That doesn't make sense. No, you've heard before this. Maybe that event just isn't in here, because it's like we've got the before it, we've got the after it, but I don't have a location on which to say that particular event happened, I don't think. So maybe I just ignore that? How do I start I surely need to identify some more people. That would be helpful, right? Who looks like they drink? That's not a good way to do it. Let's go back here. Did you say anything else? Beautiful, etc., etc. I mean, does anybody look like your mom? That could be a good way of doing it. You. I mean, you actually look closest, but I'm expecting them to be like older looking than that, so that's kind of hard to tell how old you are. Yeah, it's hard to say. There's got to be some better information. How do I get to stuff? I'm confused about why they're both here if they got divorced. And the father got remarried. Yeah, and I can't do this yet. Okay, we're stuck again. Let's look at those other ones. Well, that one I think isn't there. Seemingly, this event doesn't exist. Can you tell Isia to come to the guest house? So we know who you are, but I don't think anything was said about you, like what you look like or anything. You did show up here. Local servant's conversation waits for a local servant to leave before he resumes his search. Very odd that says A here. Okay, so I don't know what you look like. Come with me to veranda to meet everyone. My mother is already there, having her first sundowner. My father was there too just now, but he rushed off to his study to tell on you, I'm sure. But yeah, that doesn't make sense. I think that's a mistake. I think that is a mistake. Now what? I'm not getting any more items, so we can't do that thing where the item tells us everybody that's touched it in the entire time. What can I do right now? Oh, could it be that Chuan Bone is Kanan? Is that possible? Is Kanan waiting in the library? So that is them speaking about them, but somehow you've already heard about it. So that doesn't actually add up. I'm going to test it anyway. No, okay, so it's not that. I might be stuck again. How do I do the next bit? So we know of 2 female characters. Most likely the servant is either you or you, because these 2 are dressed smartly. You're dressed in like a suit jacket, I think. You're dressed, you've got like fancy earrings and a dress on or something. So one of you 2, but I wouldn't know who. And then the mother could be you, could be you, could be you. I'm unsure. There was a scream here. Apparently. From whom? How do you bring up that, like, multi-timeline? That was this, right? Yeah, okay. So these are the events we've got. It'd be nice if we put, like, pictures of the people next to these so you can see, like, who was where when. What do I do? Like none of those lead to anything because I don't know what the people look like. Oh wait, there's a pouch. Oh, that was a thing? Oh, I didn't even notice that was an item. Okay. Pouch was an item. Lucas Sterling. Okay. The pouch. So I can find out who touched the pouch. Okay. So that one we know about. I don't think we know about that one. Boathouse. Wait. Wait, so what do we have in the boathouse? We have 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. And we know you were there, but does it do anything to go here and say pouch? Oh, sorry, here I meant. Well, I can't change that, can I? No, I can't change it. As far as I'm aware. So then what was the other one? Map. It's so weird that I have to press map to go to my inventory. Isn't that so weird? Like the map is how I get to my inventory. Why? I can see how it's happened. What's happened is that this was treated as like the main screen. And then like when you're on the thing, this is like back to the map. But it feels odd to be like, oh, I have to go to the, like if I'm thinking of like I want to get to my inventory, I'm not thinking I want to go to the map first. It would be slightly less confusing if it just said back. But I mean, I still think there should just be buttons to the inventory from everywhere. So hold on. Guest house, but that's the bit we've just done, right? I think so. So actually this doesn't give us anything. As far as I can tell. Does it take us to the right time? Yeah, I think that gave us nothing. Okay. Because it doesn't have any other, so that I guess that never gets picked up again. That item. It's just always hidden there, which is curious. Unless it is held by somebody else, but it only shows up if I've identified them. I'm gonna have to leave this here, folks. Okay, we're at a bit of a blocker again, but I mean, next time we'll try and figure out a way forwards. All right, see you then. Goodbye.